a bit gloomy.
It's freezing here.
It's definitely colder than you're used to, isn't
Jesus,
it?
yeah, it's really, 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 Jesus.
Your life.
Clapton looks deserted. And looks like doesn't have people. Clapton.
Look at that.
The sea looks ugly.
What do you mean?
You can't compare the sea with Mombasa.
It looks just like man. But I just hope in time she can learn to love Clacton and hopefully one day see it as a home.
I feel like sometimes some people... Listen, Marcy just landed, and first things first, her face is literally like, yeah, this place is horrible. I mean, listen, she just come from Kenya, lovely weather, lovely seas, you know what I mean? And then she's landed in the UK, terrible weather, skies are grey, and she's not wrong. Clacton is pretty much deserted because nobody wants to live there. And I purposely am offending people that live in Clacton. Ah, dear Lord, but yeah. This is where we are in life. This is exactly where we are. You know, this is the thing that I don't understand sometimes. Now, obviously, you know, Marcy isn't a part of this type of conversation, but you know, when you get people who are purposely trying to get a visa to get into the UK, you know, I do sit there and I say to myself, I don't know why. I really don't know why. You know, don't get me wrong, I love the UK, you know, obviously I've lived there literally since I was 6, right? So this is my home, you know what I mean? I don't have issues with it. And I'm used to the weather being absolutely depressing as hell. And I don't love the weather being depressing. I mean, I like England, the country itself in general. The weather, freaking terrible, the worst weather, whatever, right? But also at the same time, there's also other things about the UK that's obviously absolutely poop. But generally speaking, if I wasn't someone that lived in the UK, that didn't know the UK, and I was coming from a place that had hot weather, the skies were blue all the time, the seas were nice and beautiful, when you went to the sea, the water was nice and clear, I wouldn't be happy if I landed in the UK, because there ain't no sea in the UK. Well, there are seas somewhere around the UK that are nice and clear and beautiful, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them are not. Yeah, so, and it is a very dirty country as well, to be honest with you. Most parts of the UK are not well looked after. Always rubbish everywhere. Yeah, to be honest with you. Yeah, we may have nice roads and stuff, you know, well, give or take on where you live in the council. And sometimes people may be like, yeah, but if you go to African countries, you know, they got potholes here, but the streets are generally kind of a bit more cleaner still, you know what I'm saying? Either way though, man, I feel Marcy's pain, so I don't blame her for having this much hate. But Michael over here needs to kind of pay attention that, bro, you're going to have to do a whole lot more for Marcy to want to get comfortable with the idea of staying in the UK, because trust me when I tell you, if you come from a lovely country with amazing weather, it's going to be very hard to want to come to UK and adjust. I remember when I first came here, but I was only 6, so it's kind of different. I remember though when I landed here, I was like, you know, it's cold. It's cold. Ah, man. But yeah. The UK is like mama. You either love it or you hate it. You know what I mean? You either take it or you don't. You know what I mean? That's what it is pretty much. But it is hard to love completely. The weather makes it very hard for you to love the UK completely. I won't lie to you about that one. Yeah. But anyway, we continue. Yeah. I'm just saying I feel her pain.
It's a bit tiny.
What do you mean, tiny?
I don't know. Michael's home doesn't feel like my house.
She's not lying though. UK houses are hella tiny, you know what I'm saying? Houses everywhere else seems to be bigger. And we pay so much.
I was back in Kenya. God, your wardrobe is dusty, Jesus. Hey, this one is dirty.
I mean, I won't lie to you, man. To be honest with you, my man should have really prepared his home before she landed. Why is your house dirty though? But then again though, a man's clean is not the same as a woman's clean.
Never lived with a man, so maybe I don't like how he breathes. I don't know how he does stuff. So literally, it's quite a big move.
Maybe I don't like the way he breathes. Who says that? You know what though? Before obviously Marcy even made the jump from Kenya to the UK, she was already having doubts anyway. And I feel like right now, because she was having doubts anyway, she can be nitpicking at anything and everything. I mean, personally, you know, I like them as a couple, you know? I don't have an issue with these two. I like them as a couple, you know? I really hope that it does work out. But Marcy needs to, she needs to try and be a bit more positive. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I've got to pay the rest. All seems a bit sort of money orientated.
I don't know what's the next problem. It's always like that. Yeah, like our combat tradition is always like money.
How much?
You know what though? I feel like people really need to now. Because I actually came to this realization, like, it was like this morning, funny enough, you know? And I came to this realization that, you know, there are sometimes you're going to come across people that come from a culture where money is a big thing. And don't get me wrong, it is very irritating because when money is a big thing, how do you identify if somebody's actually in love with you because of you or they're in love with you because of money? Because if you've grown up in an environment of money, 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 it's very hard for someone to come out of that mentality because it's embedding you from when you're born, right? So really and truly, the friend can be here nitpicking about the money all he likes, but it's not going to change his goddamn thing because at the end of the day, that's just how she's programmed. That's how her culture is. It's just that simple, you know? Because at the same time, you know, like, this is the actual thought that I had earlier on today, that if you're a man now and you meet a woman that's got she comes from a childhood where daddy was always paying for everything, you know, he was paying for everything for the mom, he was paying everything for her, you know, always make sure mom was good, all that kind of financial stuff. I understand that that's the role model. So how he has portrayed himself is exactly how she wants a man to be. So to be fair, sometimes some women can come across as if like they may be gold diggers, but in reality, they're not actually necessarily gold diggers. It's just that if they were so used to their dad always looking after everybody, you know, and seeing that the mom was always appreciating and loving dad for looking after everybody. For some women, it's like, okay, well, that's what I'm used to. So I want a man that's going to do the same thing that my dad did to my mom. I want to love a man the same way my mom loved my dad. And I want my dad to love me. No, and I want my man to love me the same way that my dad loved me and loved my mom. And that was to make sure that we was always provided for, protect and provide, right? And don't get me wrong, that's not something that everybody's down for. And I feel like sometimes when you're mingling with someone, it's very good to find out their past, their upbringing. You see what I'm saying? But let that sink in for now. There's more to the conversation, but I'm gonna say that for now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's continue with this nonsense.
Do you think it'll cost you then?
Nick is asking 1,001 questions.
The wedding, the dowry, the flights, came to like 20 grand.
Well, I lie to you, man. I'd be thinking the same thing. My eyebrows would be raised too.
A lot of Nick's questions are revolving around money. I don't know what he's playing at. I know Marcy loves me for me and not my money.
So?
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you know, that is a fair point. Can we say that Marcy loves him because of the money or she loves him for him? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even know if she even loves the guys because half the time she's complaining. But at the same time, though, I will say this, she definitely needs to be with someone, keyword needs to be with someone that can provide because that is just a culture, you know what I mean? And I think when you're dealing with someone that needs to be with someone with money, it can definitely get confusing whether they love you for you or they love you because you can just provide. And that's one of the worst things as a man, not knowing if a woman's with you because you can provide or she's with you because she's mentally connected with you. I think in this situation, that mental part, it's not looking promising.
What's next then?
We want to go on honeymoon.
Where do you want to go?
Dubai.
Have you got quite expensive taste?
Bloody hell, Nick. We've been through all this before.
Best start saving, mate.
He's not lying, Dubai is not cheap.
You better do.
We want to buy a house.
Yeah, in 2 years, because if
2 years, is that a strict timeline?
literally, if it doesn't have a house, I'm not giving him babies.
Savage. Yes, you want to buy another house in 2 years. Otherwise, I'm giving you no babies. Come on. But to be fair, Marcy is very cutthroat with it, which isn't appealing one bit.
Because I don't want like a small house. I want a house that will have a big closet. I have a lot of clothes.
The houses over here are very expensive.
You're gonna work.
Can you work over here, yeah?
Yeah, maybe after I get the other visa, the spouse visa stuff. But of course, he has to work time more.
But to be fair, I do appreciate that she does want to at least work and contribute some money some way, somehow, you know what I mean? Which is good. It's good like that, you know, but at the same time, she has a standard, and the standard, I said, and her standard is based on her upbringing, and that's just the bottom line. Should anyone, I feel like in life there should always be a compromise, depending on the person that you fall in love with. There should definitely be a certain compromise to your standard. But if you fall in love with someone, I guess that can afford what you're looking for, I guess it is what it is, right? So I guess, to be honest with you, sometimes I guess this is why we have some women in this world where they are literally looking for a man that can earn a certain amount because it is mandatory to who they are. It sucks for a lot of men in that situation, but I guess, like I said before, some people's upbringing just makes them who they are. And can we blame that person? Not necessarily. We can only put that blame more on the parents, because I feel like people should be given an opportunity to be raised in a way where they are told that, you know, you can't always sway to this way. It's a bit of a sticky one. It's a very sticky one. You know what I mean? I think the biggest question is this. If you marry someone that is with you because of the money aspect because that's what they know, whatever. I think the key thing to really know is, but if you ever go broke, would that person still stick by you? That is the key thing as a man to find out. Because at the end of the day, if you was to ever lose your job and whatever, all that kind of stuff, and you was to go broke for a minute, you need to know whether or not she's going to stick around. If she's not going to stick around for that part, then you know there's no point. Because of course, you know, I can imagine that there will be women out there that even though they'll be programmed in a way where, yes, money is everything because that's how I've been raised, that's how I've seen it. If they generally have an actual emotional connection with you, or then if things did go south, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't then drop you. You know what I mean? They'll stick around. But again, that is a hard thing to figure out. Very hard thing to figure out. A lot of people are good actors. Hey.
Big room.
Are you very demanding?
I'm not demanding. I just want things to be done well. I know he's Mike's friend, but yo, I never signed for this shit.
She's right. She didn't sign up for this. But but that is a good question though. Are you very demanding? Listen, normally I'd say, like, yeah, 100%, man. This woman's been way too demanding. But like I said before, I was thinking about it earlier today for no random reason whatsoever. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes people aren't necessarily demanding per se. They just have a freaking standard, you know what I mean? And I guess when people know what they want, they're just very straightforward with it. They don't beat around the bush. It's like, this is what I want, and if you can't give it to me, then I'm not going to waste the time trying to fall in love with you. It's definitely not the best way to be. Definitely not the best way. It's a horrible way to be, if you ask me. But at least you know that you're not wasting your time and you're not going to waste their time. That's the only positive I can take out of it. You know, but yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? How our upbringings can definitely define where we go in life, you know? Especially for women, you know? But hey, but not all. Let's not generalize now. Come on now.
He was getting himself into. We flew all the way to go and get a girl from somewhere. So of course, I'm sure he's ready for that because he never got one here.
Wow.
Well, she's not lying. Michael definitely knew what he was getting himself into. And that's that. So therefore, it is not the friend's concern. This is Michael's choice. And right now, he seems more than happy to be earning, working extra shifts and providing what she wants. But hey, man, we'll see. You guys let me know what you're thinking. Don't forget to like, sub, and of course, peace.